What up? Happy Tuesday. I keep wanting to say Monday, but you know, it's not Monday. Today was a good day. It was a good day. Like, I feel like the way I've been like walking through my storm, you know, no anger, no resentment, just love, and just, you know, feeling sadness is that one feeling that people don't want to feel. I don't want to feel ever. Like, I hate feeling sad. I've been feeling sad for a minute, you know, like really sad, you know, like praying sad. And I don't feel like that today. You know, I still got a little lingering feeling in me, but I don't feel like that today. I'm grateful today, you know, and I haven't been able to use like gratitude or acceptance. Like, fuck, I didn't want to use acceptance for a minute there, man. Like, I wasn't willing to accept that, you know, and it's about willingness, right? Like, when are we willing to accept? I don't even know if I am there yet, but surrender. I'm still learning like how to do this shit, you know, how to truly surrender, how to truly accept something, especially if I get caught off guard. But I like how I'm learning it, and I like how I felt today, and I like how my weekend went. Like, my weekend was lingering. You know, like, it's gonna linger for a minute. I asked somebody, you know, how long it took them, and they were like, man, I'm still not there. And I'm like, fuck, bro. Like, seriously? Well, so you're telling me there's a chance? No, I did, and that didn't help, because like everybody's journey is their journey, you know, like everybody's journey is different, you know, and shit takes as long as it's gonna take. That's the shit to accept. Like, I think I'm understanding the concept of surrender a little better, and acceptance is also, I'm gonna learn that too, you know, like really learn it. This shit is humbling my ass for sure, you know, and I love that it's doing it the way it's doing it. Like, when I get into a storm, man, now that I've had some fucking crazy storms, you know, it's so easy to say, like for me to go back and be like, well, nothing beats, you know, like having to get clean over and over again. And for sure, man, that shit's rough, dude. Having to go into treatment again and fucking having to face my kids and tell them I gotta go away to the doctor again. Having to tell my older kids that, you know, and hearing the conversation I had with them, like, what the fuck's gonna change? What's gonna be different, you know, because you got some time under your belt, and then look, you know, and having to like have those tough conversations, like, that shit will always remain. But the other storms, while I'm clean, having to deal with stuff, the havoc that I created, the pain that I probably caused in somebody's life, in people's lives. But I do look at like the friendships that I have, and some of the friendships I didn't think I have anymore, and like they're deep and they're good. People that I thought I'd never talk to again, like they're like good friends with me, you know, like, so like just understanding that like today is today, and I don't know what, you know, a year from now looks like, 6 months from now look like. I got my hopes, but I don't know what they're gonna look like. They're not gonna look like I thought they looked. I know that. And they, you know, who knows? The reality is, like, what really has helped me so far is like, I don't know. I just have to keep reminding myself, I don't know. Like, I don't know. I don't know what shit's gonna look like. But I do know that, like, these experiences that I go through, that I'm having right now, are really helping me. You know, they're really helping me. Like, it was cool to talk to a couple coworkers today, and they're like, man, you seem a lot better. And I'm not like necessarily a lot better, but I've been in the storm for a minute now, and I'm understanding a lot better, you know, a lot better. I'm not obsessing. God, like I was so obsessed. I was obsessing. I hate that I get that way, you know, like, or I hate that I can get that way. It probably throws people off, you know. But like, accepting that I'm the way I am, that maybe I'm not broken. Maybe I have things that need to be worked on, but I'm not a broken person. Like, I am kind, I am loving, I am giving, I do care. I do have empathy. I do want the best for people. Learning how to love from a distance. Learning how to pray for things that I don't want to pray for. Like at church on Sunday, man, I prayed for something that I didn't think I could pray for. I prayed for something to work out that, like, I didn't think I could pray for. I had to pray earlier that I would be able to pray for that, and I prayed for it. As much as I didn't want to, you know, like, I didn't want to, like, but I know that's the right thing to do. And if I'm going to preach all this shit about God, then I need to pray for that, you know, like, I prayed for that. And that was a big step for me, because, like, if I really do care about people, then I'll pray for them, you know. Because that's what I would want for me. Like, if I go into, you know, whatever, I want somebody to pray for me. I know this. I don't know much, but I'm learning. And I feel stronger today than I have in a long time. And I know I'll go through these ups and downs, and I know that they're necessary. And process, like, surrender also means surrendering to pain and process. Because I was in some pain, selfishly in some pain. Not putting myself in people's shoes. And I took a lot of stuff out on myself. I pray, like, I've been praying that, like, if people could be happy and I would take the pain, then I'll continue to take the pain. Because those people's happiness, you know, there's a couple people I can think of, is really important to me. Like, more important than, I don't want to say more important than my happiness, but it's more important than me getting my way. That's for damn sure. And I'm learning that. I gotta remember that I'm still early in my recovery. I'm still early in my development. Even though I'm a certain age, I'm about to be another age. You know, the 16th, I'll be a little bit older, you know. And I like to, and I believe I'll be a little wiser. And I'm starting to have a lot of gratitude. You know, yesterday I felt super grateful. And I was worried that today I was going to be back in my funk. Because it's been sporadic, man. I'll have days that I feel a lot better, like a little bit better. I don't even want to say a lot. Yesterday was the first day I felt a lot better. But I'll feel a little better, and then I'll go back into like a couple hours later, I'll be just like fucking sad again, you know. And today today has had some long stretches of feeling strong, not necessarily happy, just strong, and I'm grateful for that. And I love that I have taken care of myself through my storm. Like I didn't stop everything. Like I just kept going. Even though I felt a certain way, I just kept going. And pushed even a little bit harder. Now I paid my bills. You know, my car notes are good. Like good. Not like 2 weeks behind, but not a month behind. Good. Like I paid those. I took care of some other shit that like I feel good about. Anonymously have done some shit that I feel good about. And I feel like I could breathe. And what's cool is like I've captured this storm. I've captured through this whole journey like some storms. So if you go back 6 months and then another 6 months, you'll see those storms. But this storm has been the toughest since I got clean. It was super tough. And I feel like I've walked through it with grace, which doesn't look pretty ever. I'm learning. Like walking, like there's a difference between walking through something with grace and walking through something trying to look pretty. You know, I have not walked through any of this looking pretty. And I didn't care. I was getting my haircut yesterday and the lady was like, man, you got a fat line on your head. I was like, I know. I noticed it when it happened, but I was just so in my head that I could give a fuck. And she was like, I got you, I'm gonna take care of you. And just hooked it up, you know, and it like dialed it in. Like this is the best haircut I've had in fucking 2 months. Oh no, I take that back. I had a pretty good haircut when I went to go speak, like when I went to go do that poem, or those poems at Clean and Free. That was important to me. So that was good. But yeah. And you know, like missing Lainey today and joking with the kids this morning. Like I'm not in my funk where I'm not being a good dad, because I think I wasn't being the greatest dad. Yeah, I was taking care of business, but I was just so, yeah, I was pretty sad. I'll admit that I was pretty fucking sad, man. But at the same time, I wasn't mad. Like I understood. I understand. Sometimes we say things, like I can't unsay things, I can't unsend things, and I'll sit there like, and be like, fuck, why'd I say take care? I should have said something else, you know, or whatever, you know, like, and I didn't, like, I should have said, I hope you're taking care of yourself, you know, like, but I can't, you know, like, and I realize that, like, everything I do, I'm meant to do, you know, like, doesn't mean it's okay, it's just, it's meant to say that, and like, and it's not to be like, okay, next time I talk to whoever I'm talking to, I'll remember this and not, you know, like, sure, but no, I want to be my authentic self always, and that version is always going to be different. Like, I don't ever want to beat myself up for being the way I am. And I think my whole life I have. I say something to somebody, and then, like, for, like, days, I'm just, like, fucking beating myself up because I said it, like, I wish I could go back and say it a different way. But that way I said it was authentic. If I had time to script it up and then go back, you know, like that movie Groundhog Day, where he, like, learns how to play fucking the piano and learns how to fucking do ice sculptures. I think sometimes in my life, like, I look back at past relationships and I wish I could have done it that way, but then those relationships wouldn't have ended, and I'd have still been miserable, you know. And, like, I'm starting to really have some self-acceptance with, like, no, everything I've done, I did. It's authentic. Like, there wasn't no, like, there's no premeditation in it. Because, like, then what's that? You know, like, no, like, you just do. And then, like, if things don't pan out, they didn't. There's no beating myself up for that. You know, I'm learning that. Like, I'm just learning to be as authentic as I can. And you know what? Not everybody's gonna like me. And I'm learning that, like, there's a big difference between wanting to be liked and needing to be loved. And I think that for most of my life, I just wanted to be liked. I didn't need to be loved. And I wasn't able to be loved because I was too worried about being liked. And for the first time in my life, in a season, when it came to, in a season, I went and just was completely authentic, and I still love myself, and I'm not mad at myself. And that's huge in itself. That's huge in itself. Like, no masks. Like, full honesty. And I hope I'm like that all the time. I hope I can be like that forever. And I think this experience has taught me that that's how I want to be for the rest of my life. Maybe not so, maybe not as cringe. There's some cringe, but just, I'm sure. Whatever. But yeah. You know, considering how, with all things considered, everything went down the way it was supposed to. And I'm grateful. You know, I am grateful. And I'm grateful that, like, I really was, like, good to myself. And, like, I've developed a relationship with myself. Like, I was there for myself. Like, hey, buddy, got you. Like, I never had that relationship with myself when I was getting loaded. I never had that relationship with myself ever. Not where I was like, hey, man, I got you. And I looked in the mirror. I got you. That's the relationship I've been working so hard to build. Like, regardless of what anybody thinks. That relationship I have with myself is so much more important than I'll have with anybody. Because if a person comes into my life and then they're not in my life, I'm left with just myself. And if I don't love myself, like, enough to take care of myself, then I'm going to be jumping in to try to find something else. And I'm not right now. It's the first time, man. I can remember, like, man, just like the apps and the fucking, all the shit, just search to distract myself so I could not sit with myself. And like, I totally have myself this season. So, like, learning to love myself only happens through experiences like this. So I'll call this how I'm learning to love myself. Because I can look at myself in the mirror and say thank you for the first time ever in my life. This experience is making me a better person. Like I've been saying, this experience makes me a better person. If I can feel like I can make myself move mountains, well, that's the goal.